If you're following this channel, you probably know I've done a lot of Johnny content and Amber content and things like that. And you probably know I've mentioned the Star Wars series quite a bit. Well, I should say, mostly Disney Star Wars, not in such a good light. This here is pretty new from Screen Rant from a day ago. It's now November 8th. It's called Daisy Ridley's new movie grosses less than $1 million, can't even crack box office top 10. Now, as you know, Amber Heard's In the Fire did really bad. Well, this did a little bit better. Now, some people say, don't put down the actress, put down the character. It's not her fault. But Daisy's said a bunch of really silly things in the past, including that the word Mary Sue was sexist when in fact it's flat out wrong. There's a Gary Stu, the male version, and also it's more about how a character performs and what they do in the story than about the actual gender of the character. And she said it all mean and pissed, like she really knew. So let's see what happened here. The Marsh King's Daughter has a dismal opening weekend at the domestic box office, and the international won't be so much better, trust me. The movie, which is based on the 2017 Karen Dione book of the same name, was directed by Limitless and Divergent's Neil Berger. Daisy Ridley stars as Helena Pellinter, a woman who strives to protect her daughter when her cruel survivalist father escapes from prison. So we've got yet another movie with a strong female character who's defending against an evil bad man. Now that would have been great if it wasn't done like 1,000 times in the last 5 years. So off the bat, we've got something very cliche. Per Deadline, The Marsh King's Daughter has barely been able to register at the domestic box office, despite this weekend being the fourth lowest grossing overall of the year to date. The top three movies, Five Nights at Freddy's, Taylor Swift Eras Tour, Kills the Flower Moon, were all holdovers, with new releases Priscilla and What Happens Later taking number 4 and number 9 respectively. The Daisy Ridley title didn't even land on the chart, taking a gross of only $849,000 in 1,055 theaters. I will note that did a lot better than In the Fire, though, which isn't a big accomplishment because the bar for In the Fire is really low, pretty much underground at this point. Why The Marsh King's Daughter isn't a box office draw despite a stacked cast. Kind of stacked. Not like super stacked or super famous, but I guess people you'd know when you hear what they were in. One curious thing about The Marsh King's Daughter's lack of impact on the box office is the fact it has such a stacked cast. Ridley, who starred in the new Star Wars trilogy, co-stars with another franchise veteran, Rogue One's Ben Mendelsohn, who stars in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as the Skrull Talos. The rest of the cast is filled out by actors including Garrett Hedrill, Friday Night Lights, Tron Legacy, Brooklyn Prince, The Florida Project, and Gil Bringham, Twilight Yellowstone. Don't know any of them, but I vaguely know those movies. Yeah, I know Tron and Rogue One. Florida Project, Twilight, While the cast has appeared in prominent art house titles as well as big franchise installments, they have largely tended to thrive as part of ensembles in IP-driven projects. While Ridley is a big-name actor, kind of, I mean, people just know her as Rey, so you could say that, but if you get my drift, she isn't big name because of all the things she's done and built up to. Well, they do say, outside of franchises such as Star Wars, Peter Rabbit, and Kenneth Branagh's Hercule Poirot movies, if I'm saying that right, her box office draw has proven to be negligible. You could say that again. Peter Rabbit? When did that come out? Did I say Hercules or Hercule? Because I read Hercules real fast, so I thought it was something I'd know. Or did I? It's confusing. Who knows what that is? In fact, her highest grossing non-franchise title was the 2021 Tom Holland movie Chaos Walking, which only earned $27.1 million despite its $100 million budget. And Tom Holland played Spider-Man, so he probably got most of the draw. Not sure about the timeline, if he was Spider-Man before or after, but my point is probably people saw it for him. While The Marsh King's Daughter didn't get a release as wide as all the other movies in the chart, the top 3 titles all played in more than 3,000 theaters. The other new releases that charted played in a similar number of houses. They also had the benefit of Doom Part 1 2 release being pushed back from the same weekend amid the ongoing actors' strike. It remains to be seen if Ridley can lead a movie that's unattached to a larger franchise, which she probably can't. But for the time being, this title does not seem to be breaking the mold, and who cares? What's the difference? Why not just let it go? Maybe she could work a different job. McDonald's manager, mail person, police officer. How about dating coach? Why does she have to be an actor? That's one thing people forget when they say, oh, don't hound on her. It's her career. It's important. No, it's not. She's not any more important than you are watching this, whatever your job is. In fact, probably less. If you're a nurse, her job is worth less. After all, without nurses, we have no world spinning around. If you're a construction worker, we need you more than Daisy Ridley to be an actor. We need the world to be built. So don't worry about her job and, saying bad things about her. She'll be fine. After all, on a personal level, if you're in a classic franchise that set the genre on a great successful path, you should praise it. You should be happy about it and thankful. Not talk about the current things and why the new franchise is so good and how powerful your character is. Even though that's part of your job, I get that. You still need to be modest, or if you're not modest, well, I just gotta say, look at that. Can't break a million anymore. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you don't, I'll be sad. Done here for now. If you want to check this out, be my guest. But be forewarned, probably not so good. Anyway, that's it for now. See you next time.